Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mine coming at you with the weekly news in review for February 18th, 2024. Light week of news. Obviously, we've got a lot of stuff going on with the Chinese New Year, and so that means a lot of nothing going on, but there's still some news to talk about with Transformers, less than usual. There's also the next wave of Mythic Legions. Now, I'm not in on this, but I think they look really cool, so I'm going to show it. We'll talk a little bit about that, Force Horsemen. But what feels sort of related, but it's not related at all, is NECA doing their LJN-inspired, more retro? Is it called retro? Line of figures. Now, they've got four of them planned already. I'm not sure if they'll do that fifth one or not, but I would love to see some longevity on these figures. And then looks like we got a pre-order revision for Rokkon, so hopefully Wednesday we will rock on with this figure, continue the Vintage Origins line, and then of course we do have some Star Wars news to talk about. A little bit, not a whole lot, but we'll get into talking about this and more coming up. All right, starting out with what's new at Show Z, and we've got a sale on the SkyX Studio Muzzing Kaiser, and it's $280 down from $300. So it's pretty cool looking. It is big. It's about 11 inches tall and made with high quality materials. We did talk about this last week, but this is the Trans RB WM14 depth charge, and it looks pretty good. It is scheduled for a Q4 release, and it is about 11 inches tall also. So pretty cool figure. I'm looking forward to that. And they also have their Ron. It's the X-Transbots MX-47 Ron Ironhide. We've been talking a lot about this past week. It is up for pre-order, and it also says fourth quarter coming out for a release date. Now, I do want to say, if you go pre-order it, type in to the reviewer code TH into support your reviewer. Helps me out. Alright, so there's not a whole lot going on in the Masterpiece realm right now, especially not this week, but Fans Hobby is putting out another teaser. This is a Jet teaser for their Master Builder series, so I really can't keep up with what all Jets and stuff they got going on right here, but is that a Starscream of some sort, maybe? Anyhow, I'm not really sure. I don't really know. I'm not good at these teasers. But there it is. It's cool to decipher. We'll see better pictures probably next week. Probably Monday. Alright, so Flamesway is putting out pictures of their Kurakari series Ultra Magnus. This thing is huge, massive beast. Actually, I don't have the size on this line here. I can't remember the exact height. Are these 11-inch ones? They're big ones, though. Anyhow, this guy is really bulky. Now, I do kind of complain about the Masterpiece one being bulky, but this one is super bulky. And interesting design that it's gone with, and does a lot of stuff a little bit different than I've seen with anything else. Again, non-transformable, very unique stylization. Also, they're showing off their Starscream. I feel like they've shown us their Starscream before, but there it is again, and maybe it's just getting a little bit closer to release, whatever. I haven't really kept up with this line very much. The stylized look is for some. It's not really for me so much, but a lot of people really do like it, and there it is. If you're interested in this, you might want to check it out. Alright, so we got some information, but it's not much, and I really can't figure out how to enter into this drawing to win on Weibo, but YOLO Park is putting up some sort of a drawing, a contest to win this clear Megatron. They also showed a gold Megatron. They also showed a Shockwave. But this, I think, is what people are most interested in, a clear Megatron. They really should offer this for sale. And I believe they will offer it for sale, but I might be wrong on that. So it kind of feels like a lucky draw kind of thing that's going on. You can only enter through the Weibo, and it says, for clarification, click on the picture. That didn't clarify much to me. So anyhow, it's one of those things that's going to be really hard to get your hands on if you live in the States and, well, anywhere outside of this region, so it's going to be tough to get a hold of. Will be kind of cool if there was a way. I always feel like somehow Show Z gets their hands on a few of these, and if they do, I'll definitely let you know as soon as they're up. Which I had more Masterpiece stuff to talk about this week, but we know this time of year everything's light on the Masterpiece front, third party, all that kind of stuff. Getting into Dr. Wu, and this is a Beast mech, and this is the box, so you can kind of see what the box is and all of that. But they're doing a sort of like Legends scale version of Optimus Primal, and it looks like they're literally scaling down something that was already previously made. It's like a knockoff of it, is what it looks like to me, which is something that McFan's Toys, Mechanic Studio, and I guess Dr. Wu's doing. Dr. Wu usually makes their own stuff, but the Mechanic Studio, McFan's Toys, usually knocks the stuff off. And this is something I don't have this original one, so I don't really know where it came from or what the origins of that was. Here is the alt mode to it, and I think I might be in on it. I might be. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure, but I might be, just because you're not going to see much Beast Wars in the Legends scale, or this might be the genesis of a new renaissance time of Beast Wars in Legend scale. There's only been a few, and they are years, few and far years between. So I don't know if this is going to start something new, or if it's just flash in the pan. And it's also pretty cool that they're making a Perceptor, but this is in that super tiny line. This is like 2.5 inch or something along those lines. So this is not Legends, so it's not really Legends. That does kind of suck. I don't really want to get into a whole new line, but it would be cool. This might be a good figure to dip into this scale just to see where it fits. Is it worth getting into, or is it not? I might get this one just because I think Perceptor has always been one of my favorite figures in the past, mostly because the G1 figure matched the online counterpart really well. Not because I like the character, but because the toy was so good, or one of the closest to the on-screen counterpart. Alright, so after a week, it looks like they've unlocked the first unlock tier for Omega Prime. Yeah, I'm not joking. The well's pretty shallow this week. It's not very deep. We're already into Hasbro mainline stuff. And I gotta say, this project looks really good. That is a ginormous sword. That Matrix blade accessory, ginormous. But I've talked myself out of it, and I'm holding strong because I've got a lot of other things to put my resources towards. But I want to say, if you're a fan of the character, or if you like this, or if you're looking to get a vintage one for crazy money, then this is probably a better place to put your money, because this thing does look better than the vintage one. But anyhow you slice it, it's a good looking figure. It's a good project. I hope everyone that gets it enjoys it. But the truth be told here, there's gonna be a lot of these. I mean, we're already in a week, and there's 13,700. All right, we got behind the scenes look here at Legacy United Voyager Beast Wars Silverbolt, and it looks good. It's a really good looking iteration of the character, the figure. I think I like the way they've gone in this direction, and with that, he's a pretty good size figure overall, and probably scales exactly as he should, and looks great. I really think this is one of the better characters they made back in Beast Wars, and since I kind of started paying attention to Beast Wars late in the game, this is another character I like more than even some of the earlier characters. Here he is in his alt mode. I don't know if he's classified as a Fusor or not, but he kind of got that Fusor vibe to him. Anyhow, there he is. There's Silverbolt. There's pictures. They call it the behind the scenes pictures, and yeah, it looks good. So it looks like we got a new Guinness Book of World Records holder, and so this new one is Michael K. from San Diego, California, who has over 10,500 items, and he knocked the previous top record holder for the most Transformers memorabilia out of the slot, and that one was A.J. Ard with 5,150. So this is double the amount the other person had. Now, I'm not really sure about the whole goal in all of this, but just to have the most just Transformers items, I guess. Is it officially licensed? Does any of this count as third-party stuff? Masterpiece? I don't really know, but it's interesting. It's an interesting topic to cover, and of course, it's just Guinness Book of World Records in this. I saw someone else that had a huge collection that he sold for $10,000, but it's funny because it was like 10 years ago, and I think that's valued at like $35,000 now. So really interesting. I wonder what his collection's valued at. TFCon Los Angeles is going to be March 8th through 10th. No, I will not be attending, but I do look forward to these TFCons with third-party panels, hoping that we see a glimpse into the future, what these third-party companies are going to be doing. I hope it's not a bunch of recycled pictures that we've already seen, and it's actually new stuff. And I hope it's not just renders of things. Anyhow, they're going to have a special guest, Hal Rail, which is the voice of Snarl and Shrapnel from the G1. That's pretty cool to have voice actors from the actual G1 show, 40 years ago. They're showing up, still alive, still around, still kicking, and going to TFCon. Alright, so this is, I guess, classified as Transformers news, but there's supposed to be a Mattel-Hasbro crossover to make 1/64th Transformer mix of 24 pieces, and the box includes 5 Fords, 5 Morris Minis, 5 60s Fiat 500Ds, 5 1967 Austin minivans, 4 classic Bug. That's going to be Bumblebee. I don't know if I'm in on this. I don't know if I'm looking to buy some Hot Wheels Transformers. I don't know if you guys are, though. It'd be interesting to hear if anyone's in on some Hot Wheels Transformers at all. Does that interest anybody? All right, we do have some pictures of the Soundwave, and this is it's kind of like a cartoon look of the G1 Soundwave, and it looks really good. I think it looks really good. It really looks cartoon accurate. I also think it does look cheap. That's the complaint, but hey, here it is. This is in-hand images, so you don't have all the fake spicing it up, but these are really good pictures too, so there's that too. And some of these in-hand pictures are better than what Hasbro puts out. I will have to admit, this looks fantastic. I like these. But I like Ravage so much that I probably will pick this up just for the Ravage, but really awesome. This set looks good. It ain't cheap though. So Mattel's making a Taylor Swift Barbie, which is actually kind of smart on their behalf to make it a Taylor Swift Barbie and capitalize on all of that, but not have to pay her royalties by calling this Super Bowl Barbie. And are you telling me that they literally had a 49ers one ready to go, that they were going to put out the 49ers one if the 49ers won? I think they banked 100% on Chiefs and had it ready to go. Anyway, this is the Barbie Signature Series Super Bowl Barbie. I thought it'd be a whole lot of fun and funny. I wonder if she comes with an angry boyfriend. Now, later in the Star Wars segment, I am going to chime in on Hasbro and their financials, but we're going to wait till then. And right now, we're going to talk about Four Horsemen and their Mythic Legions Poxus action figures and accessories. And they're actually in stock. This isn't something that's coming. This is actually in stock. What I want to say is I think this is the most interesting looking wave that they've made for these Mythic Legions figures. And if you've missed the boat on this, you try to get back into it, you're looking at $300 and $400 a figure to get into, well, originally were like $50 or $60 figures, $50 figures back in the day. I passed on it when it first started, and everyone was excited about it. The Realm of Collectors guys were super excited about it and getting in on it, but it was not something for me. I passed on it. I think these are cool. This is something that I would probably pick and choose, though, as I go, because some of these are almost getting me. Some of these almost make me want to buy it, especially like the little wizards in the back, because you can use them for other toy lines. But I also think that's the whole goal of this. Like, you could pluck one of their characters out, put it in as a placeholder or spot holder in another toy line, because they just look so classic and awesome, and they look really good, but not for me. Anyway, you might want to check these out if you're trying to keep up with this Mythic Legion stuff. So this is something that really took me by surprise, but I'm not surprised. I shouldn't be surprised at all, but it took me by surprise. This is a classic look of Dungeons & Dragons, and it is their Ultimates line, but they're looking more like the LJN. Now, I felt like the ones that they made look fantastic, but I actually wanted this more. This is exactly what I wanted, and so with that, I'm going to I got one of these Strong Hearts pre-ordered. They didn't really say when the rest of the stuff's going to be up for pre-order or even come in or availability, but they're starting with Strong Heart. The back shows you the 4 characters they're making. I guess they're just not going to do the Grimsword figure. Maybe he's just too big to fit on this card back. I don't know, but they give you the classic card back design, and it's just a lot of fun. It's only $30 instead of $35, and I've got one pre-ordered, but I might do 2 because I'm going to have to keep one on the card, one to open up, and I'm probably going to have a whole dedicated shelf to this because this stuff is just awesome. Looks amazing. I hope that this gives legs to the future of the line, and the line goes further than just the 5 figures. It would really suck if they did 5, then 5 repaints, and quit. They really need to go. There's only 19 characters. I mean, come on. 19 characters, they can do it. I don't care if they use reuse from other figures or whatever, but with this, I think all of these look great, and this is exactly what I wanted, and especially the Elkhorn. I'm glad that they revealed that they're doing the Elkhorn, because I will probably just get one of the standard one and wait for this. This is awesome, but excited for it. I'm buying every one of these that comes out in duplicate. So Eternias are arriving, and I'm seeing some crazy numbers still on this King Grayskull figure. But the Moat figure, the Moat monster figure, is going for crazy money too, which I would say there's like 3 times more Moat monster figures in existence than there are this King Grayskull figure in existence. But it's interesting to see the prices on all this stuff. I want to say this though, if you want to get in and you want to get an Eternia, right now is the best time to do it, because the market is getting flooded. There's like 100 of them on eBay, and they're flooding the market with it. So that means it's a good time to get one of these. After this market clears out and a lot of the excess is off of the market, then you start looking at the price going back up. And so I would suggest, if you're looking to get one, now is the time. Right now. But I did do my review on this. There's like 30 reviews of Eternia just popped up yesterday. It seems like everybody that's getting theirs in and setting it up is doing a review, and whether they've done a review of anything before, it's really crazy. This is one of those things that gets people to just jump up and do a review. Same thing like MP44 came out. I just saw what seemed to be 30 or 40 reviews of that pop up, and it's just one of those things. These are just major iconic things in collecting that get people excited. It is definitely impressive. I am impressed. The size of it, it was a lot more work than I thought it would be to get it set up, all of that. But anyhow, exciting times. Sticking with the masters of the universe, we've got to talk about Rokkon here. I was all set and ready for 11 a.m. Here it's 11 a.m. on Friday, and they pushed it back 5 days, so it's going to be Wednesday now. And they cite reasons for the fact they had problems with their site. So they're citing the problems with their site. And also issues with international orders. This is one of those weird things. You're not going to see this in the store. This is just going to be online. And I'm curious how fast it sells out. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. They put a 3 max on this. And with that, I just really find that it's going to be hard to collect the remainder of these. You got to be there in front of your computer exactly the time it comes up, and if you miss out, you miss out, and you pay dearly. Like, I was there ordering the Koldar, and it's sold out while I was placing my order, and I still don't have a Koldar, so... And then I'm not going to pay $80 for a Koldar, which is what it's going for whatever reason. This, I don't know if it would ever see those kinds of numbers, but... I just want to kind of continue this. I have all of them but Koldar, and I want to keep that going. Oh, I don't have Lady Slither either. But this is one of those classic figures. I have the vintage one. It's a lot of fun. This one looks to be way better, too. Way better than the vintage one. Super 7 is trying to rock on. Rock on, right? They're trying to rock on, too, right? Motley Crue. And they're making reaction figures. I didn't get the reaction out of that rock on joke. Transition. These look okay, I guess, if you're into this. I don't know where else you'd find Motley Crue figures in 3.75 inch scale. I don't think they look bad. I don't think they look great. They're not for me, but it's interesting they're doing a lot of these rock bands and all these rock groups, and it's not really a bad idea, because a lot of people that aren't action figure collectors that might just be into this might jump on something like that, especially if you're sliding these in Target. People are just walking through the electronics department at Target like, oh, Motley Crue figure, that's cool. And it's also set up close to the media with books and DVDs. And do they have CDs anymore? They still sell CDs in stores. But anyhow, that is interesting. It's cool. I like Super 7, a lot of things that they're doing. I just don't like the price. All right, so Boss Fight Studio is showing a prototype of their Series 2 Moki figure. And I actually don't remember the name Moki, but I remember the character from the Fraggle Rock series. Well, they're doubling down and they're going deep on it, so that's pretty cool. And interesting looking figures overall. And yeah, they're going to go deep with this. It's kind of fun to see them. It's kind of interesting. I haven't bought any of them yet, but it would be fun maybe to get my hands on one. Really was kind of hoping that Gundam would carry it as they carry some other boss fight stuff. But anyhow, Pretty cool looking, interesting. It's fun to see the prototypes. Wonder what the final colored revision is going to look like. All right, so Ramen Toy had a live stream. They said a whole lot of good things, but Ace alluded to doing another production run of the 80s Commanders because of the strange kind of way they put the pre-orders up. They put up the Naval Commander or Max first to coincide with the weapon system that they are developing so that you could put a Max in a weapon system. And they even gave you a pretty steep discount, like 15% off the already 30% off discount price. I took advantage of that, but then the other two went up. Max sold out right away, and then the other two sold out pretty fast. The other thing that he's probably not telling you guys, I don't know if it's like common knowledge, they only produced like 400 of them, or some really low amount. Maybe they did 200 of each figure, and then 400 of the Apache Commander. And the thing is, they can't afford to do huge production runs of any of them. So any run of these are small, real small. They figure out how to just get a few more out to the market for the people that want one, so they don't have to pay secondary market prices for them. And so the runs aren't high. They also do kind of take into account the mind, like, you bought these, they don't want to destroy the value of their own product. They're mindful of all that. But this is the new packaging that makes it look like retro packaging. Looks really cool, really fun. I haven't gotten mine in yet, but I do look forward to getting mine and seeing that retro packaging. I don't know if I'm going to pony up prices to get original vintage ones in original packaging. I think that ship is sold for me, but having this is good enough for me, and then, just the vintage stuff being loose. Love Centurions, 80s Commanders. Now, my understanding is their CAG set is sold out. The next CAG set's going to be, they're going to do like a seat and gauges, so that it's going to be called CAG set 2.0, but there is going to be a slight gap, and you can even see this in this picture, a slight gap when it's closed, just the way it is. I'm not sure if they could have engineered that gap to be gone. The original one had a gap. This one has a bit of a slight gap. It's something that maybe they didn't anticipate it to be as much. It's not huge. It's not a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal. I got mine on the way. I look forward to getting mine, but they do seem to have sold out. I don't think they're running them again, but if you do get yours, you have a slight gap expected. Watch the live stream on their YouTube channel, and you'll see more of it. I don't think it's a big deal at all, but Ace wanted to get the message out to everyone. Alright, so is it already that time? We're already into Star Wars news. So this will be the shortest news of the year so far. This is the Star Wars Vintage Collection Escape from Order 66 exclusive. This one has Ahsoka and some droids in it, and if you're in on that, it is a $65 set. If you're getting this, that's crazy, but it is the world we live in 2024, pricing structures that don't make any sense whatsoever, but there it is. You would think you would get this was like a little bit cheaper because you're getting 4 in one box instead of 4 separate, but that's how they do it. I think they're all individually carded too. They're individually carded inside of a box. I guess you're paying for the extra cardboard. So if you pre-ordered this Amazon Black Series 3-pack, then I think it's starting to ship. It's starting to show up. It's got a picture of it here. I didn't order it, of course. I just don't think it's worth the price. And I'm not in on. I don't like these 3-packs. I like individual figures, and I mostly like them on vintage style card backs, which I actually just recently picked up an Admiral Akbar on a vintage style card back. It was for only $10, or actually it was $8. But that's the kind of things I like to find. I don't know about this, but it still is kind of cool. It's interesting. Fallen Order, if you're in on this. Now, we'll give Hasbro props and pats on the back when they do things well. So I'm going to do that now. And they put together these pictures. I think it was Steve something or another that had put these pictures together, which is really cool. And checklists are fun. Getting to have an idea of the scope of what's going on and what has been put out there for vehicles in regards to the packaging, vintage collection. Do you have it all? Because I'll just be honest, I just kind of gave up on vintage collection. I pick and choose here and there. I'm not a completist on this at all anymore because some of the stuff just doesn't make sense to me. And I'm not a completist on Black Series at all in the slightest. This is the closest thing to being a completist, but now you kind of see it. It's like, oh, maybe I should have been a completist. Maybe I should have tried to pick one of everything up. I got most of what's in that picture anyway, but not all of it. And same thing with the figures. He said it was really hard to do all the figures, and obviously it's going to be a series of pictures. It's not all in one picture. It's a series ton of pictures to do this because they're on 317 or something. I don't even know the number. Some crazy number. They still don't have the original 96 done, which blows my mind. You couldn't get the original 96 done in 300 characters, but that's just the way it is. That's modern Star Wars for you. But it's fun to see these checklists. I just enjoy looking at them. It's fun. But I'm definitely not going to be a completist in the slightest with 300 figures. Okay, so the guy who put the charts together, those checklists, that was Steve Evans. Let's give the guy credit for doing the work. And now let's get in here to Chris Cox and his CEO role at Hasbro. And I'm going to put this pipeline reveals up so you've got to get an idea what's going on with the company in regards to Star Wars. But fourth quarter revenue declined 23% in compared to 2022. So 23 to 22 with a 1.289 billion versus 1.67 billion. Still a lot of money. So you got $1 billion in revenue. But for the year, they had a massive operating loss of 1.5 billion. 1 billion of that was in the fourth quarter. And so with that, what does that mean and how does that affect you as a collector? Like, what do you care? If you're not invested in the stock, you're not trying to see the stock go up. What do you care? Well, this kind of performance equals very lackluster offerings. You would think they're struggling. They want to really get you engaged, give you what you want. But no, they're making exactly the same figures. They're just putting out the same figure over and over and over. Same figures over and over and over because they have the molds and they're readily available and they don't have to dig deep into an archive, find something from 2012. See, this is what you see when the company is struggling. Hasbro does this a lot. And, it's different, though, when you look at, like, Marvel Legends, where they'll keep giving you all these new characters, and they have almost the same exact buck, but then you get a whole bunch of new characters painted different. You have a new character, and it looks a little bit different than the previous character, but with this is literally the same exact character. I don't know why they can't at least go as far as Marvel Legends does, give you all new characters that feel like you're getting somewhere in the line, but this feels like you're stepping 5 steps back with the pipeline reveals, and the financial performance is a big part of the reason. Since we've got so much extra time, I can show some pictures that I've been holding on to for a while here. Here's some $2.99 Ahsoka Tano that still hasn't sold 3 weeks on clearance, and she's guess what? She's being offered as in the next round of pipeline. You saw that, right? But people won't buy her for $3. Now you're going to put a cloth cape with her, and now she's going to sell for, what, 12 or 13? What are you charging for these now? And at regular price, that's crazy. And then this Vel Sartha, $4. I mean, I guess she's worth $4. It's not a really big deal. Now, this isn't all just Hasbro stuff. Beast Man for $6. I thought $9 was a great price when I got mine for $9. I have to say, though, these are all the, like, dirty chest looking ones. I got the clean chest one for $9. It took a while of digging through like 11 of them, but I found a clean chest version that doesn't have all the extra dirty paint on it. But then we've got, what is this guy here? This is for $6 you get a Marvel's Avalanche. I don't know, is that a good figure? I wouldn't have picked one up. I didn't have one. I don't even know who he is, but it's kind of cool stuff. But these are the kind of deals that are out there. There's not a lot, and let me just say, you got the remnants of what came out like in October that's still hanging around. And then you've got 1 or 2 new things that pop up like this. By the way, these were all gone. I bought mine, went back the next day, all gone. So what do you think about this week's weekly news and review? Sorry it's so short. I'm sorry there's not a whole lot going on out there. But then again, I'm not really sorry. My wallet has just thanked me 5 times while I made this news video. But let me know in the comments below, like and subscribe, and tell your neighbor hang around.